I was wondering if you could play that song again.
So, we're halfway through my picks for the top 100 Brony songs. If you haven't watched part 1, make sure to go do that, then come back to this video after you're done. The first part, although there were a lot of hits, didn't have as many of the more iconic songs. This section of the list is where we get into the songs that everyone remembers, so strap in because today we're going to be continuing to count down the top 100 fan-made My Little Pony songs, starting with number 50, Loyalty. Out of all the Element songs by Mando Pony, this one is probably the most recognizable. While it's not bad, it's my least favorite out of the 4. In my opinion, it goes on a little longer than I think it needs to. Number 49, In a Rush. It's okay, feels like something they'd play at a Whole Foods. As much as I like the vocals and melody, I think the instrumental sort of drags it down. I really am not a fan of the piano loop that they use in this one. Number 48, Generosity. Another Element song. This one's catchy as all hell and has a tempo that stands out from the other 3. This one's more poppy than Loyalty, or at least feels more like something you'd hear on the radio. The different time signature they use for this song makes it feel like a march, and just like the chant of selflessness, it makes the song stand out. Number 47, September. This one's a more somber type of tune from The Living Tombstone compared to his others. If you've listened to any of his other stuff, you won't be getting any surprises in terms of chord progression. It doesn't sound ripped off from any of his other songs as far as I can tell, but it's pretty standard. The part after the first verse that sounds like the Phantasm theme and Mike the Microphone going absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs during the bridge are a couple highlights. Number 46, Right Here. Aside from the chorus, the guitar they use for this song gives me major 80s vibes, like if the band Journey wrote a song about MLP. Number 45, Awoken. For a sequel to Rainbow Factory, this one does a better job than Pegasus Device, meaning it actually sounds like another song instead of a sound-alike made by somebody who couldn't get the rights to the original. Number 44, Dusk's Descent. The acoustic guitar and single voice gives this song a nice gloomy feel to it, but the scope of the whole scene really calls for something more, I think. If they had the budget, for sure they'd try to do some sort of orchestration. That's Dusk's Dawn in general. Way too much ambition and not enough resources. At least they got someone who could actually sing for this. Well, mostly. There are some awkward bits like the voice crack on the line Pleased to Meet You and the part where he clearly says the word cloud too early and they just kept it in. The lyrics also aren't the best. Some of the people behind this were native English speakers, and wow, from these lyrics, I can tell. Number 43, Fun Fun Fun. This one does for Too Many Pinkie Pies what Sister Hate did for Sisterhood Social. It's catchy, but I'm not a fan of the droning sounds in the background. I know it's part of the style, but I think the song would be fine without them. Number 42, Proud to Be A Brony. Well, here's one that sounds completely different from when they use it in the Brony Polka. I love this one. Any song that falls under some niche genre that Brony music never touches is bound to be a favorite. I didn't know that this was Black Griffin either. This one sounds nothing like his other songs I looked up. Heck, he doesn't even sound like a white guy in this one. Number 41, Button Mashes Don't Mine at Night. I love Minecraft parodies. Fallen Kingdom, Revenge, How Do I Craft This Again? Most of the iconic ones really are a perfect blend of nostalgia. Early 2010s pop hits remixed to be about one of the most defining games of the last generation, plus a fair bit of ironic enjoyment. What's not to love? Number 40, Winter's Effed Up. Look, even if Animated James is an alleged creep, the song hits pretty hard. The lyrics are funny and I like all the main three's vocals. James is really deadpan, Ellie Monty's accent is nice to listen to, and Noah King's doing his best Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. The contrast that they have makes this song more interesting than it just being a winter wrap-up parody. Number 39, Earnest. Adorable. That's the only word I'd use to describe this song. The Jack Stober-esque retro sound and the falsetto that Nami uses for this work perfectly together. Number 38, Derpy's Letter. These guys really should have caught on back in the day. I mean, their style is pretty different from what was going on in the fandom at the time, most of it being techno or dubstep. These guys do like garage rock type stuff. I really like this one's instrumentation. If you couldn't tell already, I'm a sucker for acoustic guitar. Number 37, All Fly Higher. This is basically Scootaloo's version of something like Loyalty or Generosity. I think it's better than those two, but the vocals as well as the audio mixing are kinda off. Number 35, Laughter. It's a way more fun version of Loyalty. The chiptune parts are a great addition, as well as a little nod to the Smile song that they do with it. All of Mando's Element songs do this thing where they have to put a major emphasis on the actual name of the element in the chorus, and this one's probably the worst when it comes to that. I don't know, after listening to all the other ones, it feels more forced. Number 34, Sometimes. This one manages to sound nice and ethereal without having the song be uninteresting. The synthesizers and piano they use really do a good job of accomplishing that sort of tone. I can totally picture some character flying through the sky with this song playing in the background, or just driving down a long highway at night. Good vibes from this one. Number 33, A Beautiful Heart. If the instrumentals weren't as good as they are, the song would be way lower. As I said in the other one, I'm not a fan of these remixes, but the song is sold for me on the backing track alone. Number 32, I Am Octavia. A lot of these parodies are held up by the quality of the original, and this one is no exception. Some of the lyrics are really clever, like the playing away thing. Also, the singer for Octavia does a great job. Not much to say about this one. Number 31, When You're Rife with Devastation. Yeah, I know that's not the real title of the song, I'm just not sure if I should say the real title. A lot of people say that it's fine, but I know that if I do refer to the song by its proper name, I'll get some backlash for it. Plus, I'd rather get made fun of for being scared of getting cancelled than actually getting cancelled, so, you know. Other than that, the song is full of fun rhymes. Like all the other ones from Friendship is Witchcraft, it's catchy. Number 30, Picture Perfect Pony. It might just be the music video for this song, but this sounds like something from the show. Like, if they had to write a song for Photo Finish, this is probably what we'd get. And yes, that does include the rap breakdown. While the backing track doesn't necessarily sound cheap, it really does sound like something the show staff would use when trying to imitate another style. So, yeah, it does sound cheap. Number 29, Getting Stronger. They made a villain song, but it's also like a pop song? Okay, that's pretty sick. It may not have been intentional, but the contrast between the lyrics and everything else in the song is great. We need more villain songs like this. Number 28, Tavian Scratch. The instrumentals sound like the beach level in a Mario game. That's the only way I can describe them. That's not an insult though. It's a super fun backing track. The rhymes are by far my favorite part of this, along with a little Dance With Me segment at the end. Number 27, Diaries I Kept. I said that Earnest had a retro sound to it, and it's the same sentiment with this one. It literally sounds like an 80s pop song. I don't know how else to describe this one, it's just super good, just listen to it. Out of all the ones on here, it's the one I recommend the most. Number 25, Hlouse of Glass. This one gets me emotional. It's a shame Trixie never got a song in the show. If she did, I doubt it would be anything like this, but it's still great. Number 24, Kindness. It's upbeat like laughter, catchy like generosity, and has the same powerful lyrics that Loyalty does. Easily the best out of Mando's Element songs. I also might be biased because out of the 4 ponies he did songs for, Fluttershy is my favorite. A highlight is the way his voice moves on the line and I will never ever forget, like it's just mwah, perfection. Number 23, My Rainbow Horse and Me. Pony Scott. That's it, that's all I have to say. It's not as fast-paced as a song in this genre about Rainbow Dash probably should be, and some of the lyrics are a little bit questionable. Like, what feelings are starting to stir? I thought this thing was your pet. Still slaps though. Number 22, Lyra's Anthropology. Finally, we get to this section of the list, the classics. I don't know about any of you guys, but this one always sort of sounded like a villain song to me, like Lyra's some sort of mad scientist who's gonna try and cut open a human and wear their skin. It's got a clever melody, lyrics, rhyme scheme, sort of like something out of Friendship is Witchcraft. It does have one big problem though, and that's the quality of the singer's microphone. She does an exceptional job at singing, but it sounds like it was recorded on somebody's 2007 MacBook in the basement of a church. Yeah, wow, audio problems. What is this, a Shunks video? Number 21, Rainbow Factory. I've thrown the phrase wonderfully dark around a few times, and it certainly applies to this one. Again, you really can't beat the classics. Even if it does use the default GarageBand piano for the instrumentation, it's got a nice sound to it. Again, Glaze does an amazing job at singing. His voice is so satisfying to hear. Number 20, Are We There Yet? Super catchy, sounds like an Owl City song. Not only does it work as a song for the CMC, but the lyrics are really sweet. Number 19, Everything Glimmer. The word camp comes to mind whenever I think of this song. It's great on its own, but really cheesy. If you ever wanted to hear Starlight have her own girl boss anthem along with its own rap verse, well, here you go. On a semi-unrelated note, this has one of the best Trixie impressions I've ever heard. All around, it's a fun time. Number 18, Lost on the Moon. Alongside Proud to Be a Brony and a few others, this is one I actually haven't heard until recently while looking up songs for this list. I like Rina-chan's vocals as well as how the lyrics sort of circle around the same few words in each verse. It's an interesting songwriting choice that could have gotten annoying if they handled it wrong. Number 17, Fluttershy's Lament. It's a soundbite remix, but this one has the whole classic Brony song thing going for it, as well as the most comprehensible lyrics that aren't reused from another song. This one's super easy to sing along to. Number 16. How Applejack Won the War. All the Friendship is Witchcraft songs carry the same weird connotation with them that, yeah, this is Jenny Nicholson singing, like the Jenny Nicholson of YouTube fame. She's barely doing a voice for this one too, which makes it even worse. The best you get is her putting on a southern accent for Applejack. Other than that, I like the banjo and fiddle and all that, and the way it contrasts with the industrial sounds they'll use for the interludes. Number 15, Sweetie's Big Race. This one is underrated as hell. Some people might not like the vocal effect that they use for Sweetie Bot, but personally I love whenever somebody uses it in a song. I don't know, it's really satisfying to me for some reason. Again, it's Friendship is Witchcraft, so it's got the same clever rhymes and funny lyrics. This one's more along the lines of those literal MLP videos. Number 14, Beyond Her Tomb. This might be breaking the no remixes rule because this one does sample a lot of stuff from Beyond Her Garden, but it's different enough to where I think it counts as its own song. The collaboration aspect of it is super neat, how it's 4 artists working together on this one thing. Mike's verses are all really well written, and his overall flow is great. The integration of the Beyond Her Garden stuff, funnily enough, is the worst part of the song. They didn't do that good of a mashup in my opinion. Number 13, Double Rainboom. This one makes me sad. It's not even from the show and it still gives me the feels the way the Magic of Friendship Grows does. Number 12, Magic. This song's quality is hanging on by a thread, and that thread is the melody. The backing track isn't awful, but I don't think it goes along with the tune all that well. The Living Tombstone sounds like he has a cold, and the singer for Trixie barely shows any range. Half the time she's sing-talking through her lines. The lyrics aren't the best either, a good chunk of them don't even bother rhyming in places where they should. That being said, it's pretty catchy. Number 11, Lesbian Ponies with Weapons. So, since dubstep was the big thing in the early 2010s, and that's what a lot of Brony music was inspired by, do you think that if the fandom sees a revival with G5, there's going to be a wave of pony-based hyperpop music? I mean, I hope so. If we're getting more songs like this, I'm all for it. Finally, the top 10. For this part of the list, I'm going to be playing you guys a brief snippet from each of these songs, starting with number 10, Discord. So I added the no remixes rule to the list because if remixes were allowed, well, this list would be at least 2 times longer. As a result though, the Living Tombstone remix of Discord, aka the one everyone knows, can't be on here. If it were, that version would be a solid number 3. While it might not be as iconic as the definitive one, the original Discord is a fine song in its own right. It's fast-paced, a lot of fun, and has some iconic lyrics. Number 9, Stuck in Time. This one's the best Living Tombstone song on the list, and the very definition of a hidden gem. Usually, I think their vocals can be a bit awkward, but the metal sound that Bronyfied adds evens it out. It doesn't make his voice sound better necessarily, it just puts it in a context where, you know, you can get a little messy with the singing. It's amazingly catchy as well, and also gives me like reggae vibes at certain points. This song deserves to be up there with others like Beyond Her Garden and Pinky's Brew. It's that good. Speaking of which, number 8, Pinky's Brew. What else can I say about this song that hasn't already been said? It has the best wordplay out of all the Friendship is Witchcraft songs, with lines like, "A kitchen time saves 9, but I'm just saving 2. That's some genius stuff right there. Number 7, It'll Be Okay. Unlike in Pinky's Brew, the humor in this song doesn't come from the wordplay as much as it does the absurdity of Twilight's warped sense of reality. Also, I just think it's better as a song. Like, Pinky's Brew is nice and all, but I just think this one sounds better in my opinion. Yes, it's because there's more acoustic guitar.
Depressing melodies, suppressing fantasy. I gave you my heart
Number 6. Nightmare Night. Yes. Just yes. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have heard Are You Ready for Freddy, the official Freddy Krueger rap that was released alongside the Nightmare on Elm Street 4 soundtrack, but that's one of my favorite songs. This is basically the MLP version of that, except they don't give Nightmare Moon her own rap verse. Disappointing, I know. The infectious little melody in the chorus makes up for that, though. The rhymes in the first verse are all fun and campy, but they're a lot weaker in the second verse. Like, I don't know, I think they really dropped the ball when they rhymed the words hag and bag. Aside from that, it's a great song that should be in everybody's Halloween playlist this year. Number 5. I Can't Wait. Look, I think your favorite Friendship is Witchcraft song honestly depends on which one you vibe with the most. Like, are you a Pinky's Brew person? An It'll Be Okay person? A Princess of the Night person? That one didn't even make it on a list. But this one's just my personal favorite because, I don't know. If you've watched my channel, which apparently a lot of you don't, because only 20% of my viewers are subscribed, you know how I feel about the first Sequester Girls and its handling of high school life. Plus, I think it's pretty relatable. You know, in an ironic sense.
Oh, I can't wait to do a lot of homework. I can't wait to take the SATs. I can't wait to disappoint my parents. Pony, princess, good. High school, great. And though I miss my friends, it's sad, but then again, I can always make new friends.
Number 4. Beyond Your Garden. Less is more with this one. Just a simple song about a simple mare living simple dreams. The melody in this one is infectious and gets stuck in your head. I like the lonely, melancholy feel it gives me, despite being a fast-paced techno song. Take a listen. Number 3. Mad This Time. Where to start with this one? Man, the dark, foreboding intro, the 80s style backing track, the way Violet moves her voice in this one, the weird microtonal stuff, the sick lyrics, especially the little You Think I Know bit, all around it's fantastic. I can't show you the thumbnail for the video, but I'll just say you're in for a surprise if you choose to look it up yourself. Number 2. Lullaby for a Princess. This one follows in the footsteps of This Day aria of being super moving and telling a great story. Celestia giving her perspective on having to banish Luna to the moon and how she regrets it is a great concept for a song like this. The performance captures Nicole Oliver's voice perfectly as well as bringing some emotion that we never get to see from the character. It's almost on the level of something from the show, maybe even better.
Instead, a pony who shone like the sun. Look out on her kingdom inside. She smiled and said, surely there is no pony so lovely and so well beloved as I.
Number 1. The Moon Rises. This one has the same feel as Lullaby for a Princess, but on a way larger scale. The additional elements, like the chanting in the background and the more booming orchestral score, puts this one above that, I think, at least for me. The singing in this one is also more my thing. I have nothing against the more soft-spoken parts in the first one, I mean. But the way Luna belts out her lines gives me chills. It just sounds theatrical.
Why shouldn't they adore me? Is it not within my right? I'll not be overshadowed. Mine is not the lesser light. I've waited long enough now for them all to come around to know the
Well, that's my list. Did you agree with my picks? Are there any songs that you guys feel got left out of this one? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave it a like and drop a comment down below. Your support means the world to me. If you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button and click on the little bell icon so that you get notified whenever I put out a new one. I can't think of a better outro, so until next time, goodbye.